I think it should be work. Why is Telegram not working? Testing. Testing. Loud and clear on Divergent. That's good. Is it working on YouTube? Markers are open. And let me just. I just need to double check something. So good morning, everybody. But I seem to have a microphone problem. Just one sec. Yep, YouTube is working. That's good. So why is I don't seem to be able to get Telegram to work. Just try something different. One sec. Just try and change that. Okay. And then sometimes Telegram can be a real pickle. Okay, apparently we can hear me on Telegram. So that's good. I think. Very good. I don't seem to. Well, if you can hear me on Telegram, that's good. Good morning. Ha! Oh, there's nothing like starting the day with a little bit of IT problems. Like, yay! It's like my favorite thing in the world. Oh, it's gone again. Oh, shoot. I think what I'll do, let me restart Telegram. Excuse me. Start live Telegram. Continue. Settings. Testing. Oh, why are you doing this? Bugger. Well, I can change the settings a little bit to something called default. Sorry about that. I'm sort of talking about something else, but it's probably not going to be very good noise volume quality, just so you know. But I'll get that fixed later, okay? So good morning. I don't seem to have last day close either on the DAX. That should have come in here. Don't know why it's not, but it's it closed at 21,637. So down here. Don't know why that is not working this morning. It's a gremlin morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a gremlin morning. Don't know why. The software is playing. Sorry, the microphones are playing up, and there you go. I'd like to show you the result of the not very predictable FOMC last night. So we can do that in a second. Just gonna get the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones up and running. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we have what's called a first bar positive in the FTSE. That means I need to be a short seller at as close to 56 as possible. Oh, it's running away. Come on. I'm just gonna sell one, just so I have a reference point. I need to sell 10. This is a first bar positive. I need to get a sell in as close to 8,556. Just clicking in, hoping to be able to get a fill up here, but just sort of scaling into the full position as close to 56 as possible. So I think I got 4 of the 10 with an average price of 52, not 56, but DAX is displaying the same pattern. Well, I got a little bit in. The low was 56, so the sell would come in at 55, but my average price is 52. And I've only not even half position yet. But maybe that'll come to my advantage if it's not working out. But I will make it up for a full position if we get up to 54, 55. So here's the daily chart of the DAX. It's closed. It just keeps closing at all-time highs every day. It's a weekly chart. So we're on a major push higher, major bull drive. So obviously what we need to do is try and find places to be a buyer. You could actually argue the same for the FTSE. Also pretty much making all-time highs. I think that's about as close to the price I should have gotten myself into. Is here, so I will see if I can play this. Make up the full amount. 1 sec. So the low is 56, so me being able to execute at 55 seems like a good idea. I'm playing it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hoping to get 57 or 58 to make up the full position. Some of you might think, oh, he's adding to losing position. I'm not. There's 56. What am I up to now? Do you know what? I'll stick to it at 8. That's fine. That's not confusing at all with all of those positions, huh? So the average price is 53.8. Let me just amend that to 54 and 74. There we go. So let's look at the, if you don't mind, let's look at the FOMC meeting yesterday. This is where the announcement was made here. And what I do in the entry strategy called Rule of 4, I use the 10-minute chart and I count 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what's interesting, I feel, is that the Rule of 4 coincides with the beginning of the press conference, and the press conference obviously changed the tune yesterday. And then when the completed 10-minute candle, which is 10 minutes into the press conference, is done, I'll buy above. And I posted that yesterday in the Telegram channel. You buy above, and technically you should have a stop below. This was the, I don't know how many time I've now traded that, and we are, so I have no losing trades on the Rule of 4 yet. When that losing trade does come, I'm sure it's gonna sting because the stop losses tend to be big. I personally gunned for this high or this high. I would love to say that I got out there, but I probably didn't. So this was in the Dow. I also executed the same trade in the Nasdaq. I'd like to show you. Yeah, I can show you. Oh, one sec. I know that DAX is rallying really hard. I had hoped to find a place to buy. So here's the announcement, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was a buyer above in the Nasdaq. Here, I think the entry was about 373, 74. And I was kind of gunning for this area here. And that sort of concluded my trading evening. I'm just going to make this into compact mode. DAX is very strong. I was hoping that I would get an opportunity to be a buyer. I think the best I could have done, again with hindsight, we went below this prior bar low here and buyers stepped in. And it's running away, making all-time highs. Which is good. Interesting to read how newspapers are talking about how weak the European economy is. But judging by the stock market, it has a very different spin on that opinion. I would consider being a buyer down here where the break of the first 15-minute candle came in. Hell, I could even draw a sort of around 691. My FTSE position is not doing very well. Oh, it looks scary how I'm losing 70 points. Obviously I am not, but I am losing. I would consider calling that position earlier, considering how strong the DAX is. I think I'm doing that, closing the FTSE early. I don't see the point of having a 20-point stop loss if I don't believe in the position. In case you're interested, can you trade the rule of 4 in the DAX index and the FTSE index? So let's have a look. So here's the first 1, 2, 3, 4. That means being long above this candle here, which came in at 35. It went as high as 50. So not really terribly convincing. FTSE really pushing higher. So right now I'm waiting for the second 15-minute candle to complete. This account that I'm trading here publicly doesn't allow me, according to the rules I've set for myself, it doesn't allow me to be experimental or overly aggressive. I'm very dogmatically trading the schematics that I've laid out, such as school run, first bar positive in the FTSE, first bar negative. There's something very satisfying in taking a loss early in a position and then seeing it actually continuing. I guess the added component would go, flip the switch, go long instead. But getting out of a position you felt didn't work at 62 and then seeing it trading up at 68, it sort of fills you a little bit with the satisfaction. They're going, well, I did the right thing. It wasn't pleasant to do. I'm just going to be really conservative this morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to wait for a quality signal. I don't mind sharing with you what I was just doing behind the scenes if you're interested. I was looking at the DAX in December, what it did after the FOMC. So the FOMC in December was the 18th, that's this day here. And this is what it did the following day. This is a 10-minute chart. And it would seem to follow the break of the second 10-minute candle. Worked really well here. Set in motion a decent move up. And then the moment you get a negative candle and it breaks that sets in motion a move from 76 down to 29. I like studying old charts. Okay, how would I have done this? We can look at this, the previous one that's on the 7th of November. So what we have to do is to look at the DAX on the 8th of November. So here's the announcement, 7th of November, and this is the one we want to be a look at. 1, 2, 3, 4. So a break of a negative bar. This doesn't seem to bode well for the DAX. That was a good move on this particular day. I hope this is of interest to you. This is how I often operate. So just so you are aware, the DAX has just given, at the high of the day, has given a school run long signal. I'm just going to observe that for a second. I'd just quite like to show you this. Let's go to the September the 18th. So here's September the 18th. And then so what we need to do is to look at the following day. What I would quite like to do, I want to show you, because this has worked really well, is I'd like to take a short signal rather than a long signal. So a school run anti almost. Actually I'm okay with a 25-point stop loss. So basically just take an anti-school run. Don't know if you recall this, but when I went through the school run performance last week, the breakouts didn't happen as frequently as I wanted to. And there were many times where selling above the second 15-minute candle paid off. So I'm going to do something quite aggressively. I'm going to move the stop loss down. So I'm just risking 13 points. I'd like to just go back to this. It would seem that post FOMC, the 10-minute candle actually seems to dictate the direction really, really well. We can take the next one, which is 31st of July. Let me just show you what's going on here. moving the stop loss down to 16. So basically just place the stop loss above the high of the current 15-minute bar. The odds of it working, well, anything can happen, obviously. The odds are absolutely not with me unless we print a negative 10-minute bar and we trade below it. But I'm okay with that risk. My risk is just, it was 25 points. I quickly cut that to half, and now I've cut it to just 8 points. I'll accept my fate. I'd like to go to the 31st of July. It's coming up here. 31st of July, that's this day here, and well, here's the DAX the following day. And so just behind the scenes, my DAX is back to losing. It's currently losing 4 points. So I'm 4 points away, 5 points away from being stopped out on this, shall we call it the anti-school run. Now then, that begs the question, when do you take school run and when do you not take school run? That needs to be addressed at some point. But so here's it doesn't feel like we're going to have this kind of day, certainly not a down. But yeah, I'm going to get stopped out. The next one was 12th of June. So here's the actual day, and then there was the following day, the 13th of June. So the way that it has traded post FOMC would suggest that as traders we can place a trade in the DAX with a stop loss not all the way down here, but actually just below the previous bar's low. Because if you see how the DAX charts unfolds, you see what it doesn't really go above prior bar high. It does down here, but that's way down the page. We can do one more. That was the 1st of May is the next one. Oh, sorry. I was not attentive. Just passed it. May 1st seemed to have been closed in the DAX, and then this is what happened on the 2nd of May. That does not look like a post FOMC reaction, does it? Maybe I'll go to the March 20th. So here's the DAX March 20th. Here. And then the following day, which would be the 21st of March, the DAX reacts very positively to it. Very positive bar. This one is actually really interesting. Go above prior bar high. That actually marks the high of the day. Well, until the close, but in a really big pullback. Interesting. Let's get back to the chart at hand. Just following this, we got a very undecided first bar. Second bar pushes higher. Third bar, the school run, has triggered long. I did the opposite, got stopped out. All right, that's on me. I made that decision. And had a really, really tight stop loss. By the way, that's just to keep you updated on the FTSE. So I think I'm gonna wait because I think there's some opportunities today. The end of the month tends to be more volatile and post FOMC, but I need to wait for a better signal. I could take the long signal in the DAX school run, but I've decided not to today. I know that I have 2 losing trades, absolutely. I have just saved myself 10 points in the FTSE. So I think I read that correctly. And if I had taken the traditional school run, it would have asked me to be long from above 708, which means I would also have been underwater. So yes, I lost 8 points. Guys, I'm just gonna pause for a second, okay? I'll be right back. I'm back. I just needed a refill on my herbal concoction. Can't recommend it. You see, if that 10-minute chart were to close now, I would short it with a stop above. Excuse me. As I said, can't recommend it. In case you're curious about this, which you may be, this is a charting package called eSignal. Now I know that there are other charting packages you can subscribe to. I like this one for several reasons. One, I use their delayed data that enable me to significantly cut the cost of it. So it's relatively inexpensive. Secondly, I'm really impressed with the intraday data. So I got DAX going back to 2009. And because it's delayed, as opposed to a normal full-blown real-time charting package, it costs a fraction of it. Yes, it's still an expense. I think I pay $105 a month. But this is the cornerstone of my research. It's where I get data from. So I really thoroughly enjoy that. In case you're interested. This bar is closing in 1 minute. It's beginning to look interesting. Based on what I've just shown you, it's beginning to look interesting to short this. If I did, I would have a stop loss above the high of the day. Yeah, I'm shorting the DAX here. That stop loss seems to be in a really good place. Oh, something went wrong here in Telegram. All right, so let's see how that plays out. Hopefully I explained that basis on the research. Here, a negative bar, selling short. See how it works. It's very contrarian, that's for sure. Could be tempted to do the same in the FTSE. 7573 is the high. Yeah, I'm going to short the FTSE. And just going to have to place a stop loss. I shorted the FTSE in smaller size. Why is that not showing up now? Don't understand that. Okay, stop loss is there, but why is it not oh, is it, it's all the way up there. Yeah, I don't want a stop loss all the way up there. I literally want to have a stop loss here. Right, this is so this has turned into a highly speculative position, but the DAX so far is paying off, the FTSE less so. The high is 73. I put the stop loss just 3 or 4 points above. It could actually be smaller, but I think 6 points is an okay risk, and I did it in half size. So that's sort of status of what's going on my account. You can see my account has actually gone below 14,000 again, fortunately. I'm going to move my stop loss in the DAX. Seems to be working. I'll move my stop loss down to 14. FTSE is not following DAX's lead. That makes me think if the DAX is going to carry on being weak, but we'll see. Well, I think I'll pause here with a snapshot of what's going on in the account. Short the DAX, highly speculative, basis on the research of post-FOMC days. Short the FTSE. So far, that's not working. what the DAX is. Could be tempted to double up on the DAX with a stop loss above 21,703, so I have a stop loss here. But let's not get carried away. I think I like to have a little bit more profit before I begin something like that. So I will update this on Telegram. Thank you for being here this morning. It was lovely to be here and talk to you. And we'll see how this goes. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.